fun begins.
How's it going?
Hello.
Well,
Greetings, young Jedi.
hello there.
What is up, everyone? Hybrid Toy Reviews here, bringing you a new review of a new case of Carbonites, one that I am very excited to talk about. These are based on the 2005 Battlefront 2. These are the Space Battle Assault characters. So these are all inspired by the varying pilots that you can play as in the Space Battle modes of Battlefront 2, which is a really, really fun game mode. I've recently been talking with some friends about how interesting it is. Modern games, the space modes, they've gotten very complicated. I yearn for the simple controls of just a classic space game. Battlefront 2, Rogue Squadron 2, games like that really had it down. And so these are some really, really awesome character selections, ones that I'm super happy to see coming out in Carbonites. Let's go ahead and open the case up, take an in-depth look, and see if this is a case that you should be adding to your Carbonites collection. Let's go. Okay. Here's our Space Battle Assault case, and we are going to take a quick look at the artwork. This is your standard Carbonites case in that it is the standard size fold-up box. The front side shows your 6 characters, the name of the case, and Vincent's awesome, dapper signature. Over here on the spine, you see it has the coloring from Battlefront 2, and it seems like the line ends here. I wonder if case number 9 is the final case he has in mind for this game. Vincent, please inquire down below. So, case number 9, again, all your characters and the name there. You have your Carbonites, nothing on this side except you see the tab is, slightly open there. And then around back, there's some information, some behind the scenes about what the brand is, and I highly recommend just going to the Carbonites website, which I will have linked down below. It has a lot of behind the scenes, in-depth info about where Vincent got his inspiration. Now, popping open the case, see the case pops open like so. You have your paper insert. You lift it up. Vincent will include a little note thanking you for your purchase. So that is really, really cool. Very classy stuff here. Setting that aside, again, under that wax paper, you see your 6 included Carbonites and the mint in the box. The mint in the box being the most ultimate gimmick of them all. Features a Han and Carbonite mascot block, and inside is a Lifesavers mint, which is super duper cool. I love a nice pun when it comes to the collecting world. From there, it's easy to shake out the characters, or you can pull on the paper, which wraps underneath of them to get the characters out. But, like so, we have opened our Carbonites. Let's neaten up this mess and take a look at the goodness I've just dumped on my table. All right, here's the case of Carbonites out on the table, and we are going to work through them one at a time. So, technically, we are missing 2, but Carbonites only come in cases of 6. However, I can steer you in a direction of where to acquire the other ones. So, in the game, when you are playing as either the Republic, Separatists, Rebellion, or the Empire, you have the choice of 2 pilots when you are in the space mode. You have the standard pilot or the Marine version, which is a pilot in typically a different outfit, and they have different tools, and it's all about how you want to play the game. Whether you're going to spend the majority of the time in the ship, or if you're really thinking about boarding the enemy ship and doing some sabotage, which was my personal method. I usually lean the way of the Marines, but we are missing a couple of Marines here. No big worries, I'll tell you where to find them. So we'll work through them left to right. So, this guy here is the P2 Republic pilot OGBF2, and this is basically a generic Phase 3 clone pilot, and I've always liked their helmets, how it exposes the face under the visor there. It is a very cool adaptation of that pilot design. It is a gray bodysuit with some white armor pieces over top, some tubes, very finely detailed, also different from the ones in the best opening ever case, which is really cool. And this guy would make great friends with those two, which is also nice to see. So, spinning them all the way around, I really do love the detailing of all the straps and harnesses going around, and the gray stripe over the top of the helmet. I think this is some very fine work from Vincent. Excellent job on this guy. Now, that is the standard pilot for the Republic class. Now, your Republic Marine is basically just a 501st Trooper. There's numerous cases you can acquire a 501st Trooper in, so I appreciate the omission here in preference of other characters, because I've got a couple Carbonites of 501st clones at this point, so it's like, if I need to put one next to him, I can totally go grab him from another case. So I understand the choice, and I think it's a good choice. So setting him here, moving on to the Separatist faction, we have the Model 1 Separatist pilot, OGBF-2, and this is very much a battle droid pilot, as we have seen throughout the series. So it's something interesting Vincent has figured out is when it comes to like the super skinny characters, like the battle droids, you've got all those voids around them. You know, if a normal human character fills a cube, what do you do with a skeletal battle droid? And I do like his choice of just blacking out the areas that are supposed to be see-through, since they can't be, since it's a solid object. It still kind of captures the lankiness of a battle droid, and I really like it. I think great job here from Vincent. This is otherwise a battle droid. We've seen these before. He features the backpack on the back, which is very nice, and he has nice blue coloring. I think that he looks excellent. Going with the flow there, the Model 1 Separatist Marine is the Marine class. Now this guy has more of a teal coloring. We don't really see this coloring in other classes, so this guy is very much exclusive to this case. And I do like how he turned out a lot. It is very similar in deco to the first one. Some minute differences in the lower chest area, but it is very much a similar template that has been colored in the ways that are appropriate to capture the likeness from the game. And I do like how this guy turned out a lot, too. It's a little bit of a niche pull, but that's what I like about Carbonites. Nothing is too niche to be made into a Carbonite. So this guy is a very cool battle droid to add to the collection. So now, working our way from the prequel trilogy to the original trilogy, we have the Space Empire pilot, OGBF-2. This is a standard TIE fighter pilot, as seen in the game. It is a black jumpsuit with some black armor pieces and a helmet. I like the effect of a glare on the lenses of the helmet there. Just makes them pop a little bit. Otherwise, it would just be a bit of a black void going on. I love all the buttons on the chest box there. The Imperial cogs up top on the forehead, on the shoulders. Very, very nicely designed. When you think of a TIE fighter pilot and everything that comes to mind there, Vincent has captured the likeness beautifully, and I do like how this one in particular has turned out. Now, the Imperial Marines are basically just a stormtrooper with an orange pauldron, and I know that there is a case in The Mandalorian Season 2 that features that, so I respect the omission here. Now, working into our Rebel side, we have the rebellious pilot, OGBF-2. Now, this pilot looks suspiciously like X-Wing pilot Luke Skywalker, and it could be that that is Luke's in-game model when you're playing on original trilogy maps, and they just said, hey, that's a pilot costume, and reused it for this game mode. That is very classic video game, if you will. And the helmet is very similar in a lot of respects to Luke's, but he is meant to be a generic pilot, so we are going to call him a generic pilot. But he looks really good. Everything you would expect to look for on a Rebel pilot is here. The orange lenses of the helmet, a very determined look coming through there, and then the white-ribbed like flight vest with the chest box strapped on, the tools on the shoulder pouches going around the back. Very, very well done. I do like how this guy turned out a lot. Just very, very ingenuitive work here from Vincent. I like this pilot a good deal. Setting him down, we're going to finish out the case with the Rebellious Space Fleet Marine. So the Marines for the Rebellion are just Rebel fleet troopers, and they would carry like rocket launchers and stuff, and it's cool. This guy is wearing the signature white bull helmet of the Rebel fleet troopers with the black visor across the top. He has a determined expression going on there. And then working down, he's got his gray shirt on with the black vest with all the pouches. And they have been recreated very, very nicely here with the mid-length sleeves going on before exposing some forearm. You got a belt detail going on. It's a very simple costume, but it's a very well-done costume, and I think Vincent did a phenomenal job adapting it to the world of Carbonites. I gotta say, all of these, while some of them may have been a little bit easier for Vincent to make, for instance, some recoloring, some reissues with different decos, I absolutely love these characters. They represent a very important game to my childhood, and I just gotta say, very cool stuff. Good work, Vincent. So here we have some Carbonites of the litany of other Star Wars collectibles like Vintage Collection, Black Series, Micro Galaxy Squadron, Lego, and Funko Pops, just to show you that they are indeed stackable, and how they stack up compared to other collectibles you likely already have in your collection. The nice thing about Carbonites is, it's something you can either dive really deep on and just pick up everything, which I recommend. I like them a lot. Or if you're just looking for a little enhancer to your space, if you want some of your favorite characters to sprinkle around an office cubicle, or you just want a Carbonite here, a Carbonite there throughout a full-blown collection, it's a really fun way to add some fun adaptations of characters to your collection space, and that is all the game is about, really. It's just having the things that we like represented in ways that intrigue us, and the cubicle form of Carbonites has always intrigued me. So at the end of the day, what do I think of the Space Battle Assault case? I think this is really, really fun. As I mentioned, the original Battlefront 2 is a staple of my childhood. I have hours logged on this flight simulator, and it is so much fun. I really love this game. It's one that I'm going to play on my gaming stream series once I figure out how to use OBS, studying up on that. But these Carbonites are supremely cool. It's a little bit of a mixed bag of characters. It's just representative of the game mode, and I really like the choices Vincent made. Again, it would have had to have been a case of 8 to cover everything, so I'm okay with the omissions of things you can acquire elsewhere. If your goal is to have a perfect Battlefront 2 space mode shelf, you got to buy more than one case, but it's possible. It's able to be done. And I really like how this case turned out. So, immense kudos to Vincent. Great work here. I love this case. I think anyone picking it up will also love it as well. So, that's all I really got to say. Thanks for listening. It's been fun talking about Carbonites. It's been a minute since I have. Have you been picking up Carbonites? Fire off in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about them. I'm going to go work on something else now. So, until next time, may the Force be with each and every single one of you. I hope you all have a great day. Until then, bye.